just make a little video on Bot Free Group at the moment.
What for?
Oh, just for social media.
No, I don't want it done, thanks.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Well, it's our company and I'm asking you not to do it.
Well, I can see it from the road, so...
Yeah, well, can you not film, please?
Well, I will be, I'll also...
Call the police. This is not...
Call the police for someone with a camera?
Well, yeah, because you've done it them over there.
Yes. And I got my drone as well, so we'll be sending the drone over to get some drone footage, so...
You're not doing it?
They'll be doing 911, not saying 999, 101, sorry.
999.
999?
Yeah,
what are you going to report? A man with...
Please.
Oh, let me hear this. Man with a camera.
Please. It's harassment.
You've come out and harassed me, I'm not harassing you.
Hi there, and there's just on the industrial estate in Louth, and there's a strange chap walking around filming businesses and says he's sending drones up and taking footage and just, well, pretty...
The moment the auditor is spotted photographing storefronts, an employee immediately calls 911, labeling him weird. In truth, the auditor has been completely transparent about his intentions. Nothing is hidden. Being curious or nosy does not constitute a crime, and public photography is entirely lawful. Yet the employee's impulsive reaction ends up wasting police resources simply because they disapprove. When officers arrive, they shockingly side with feelings over facts, even threatening the auditor with baseless charges despite the law clearly protecting him. This incident underscores a concerning combination of misunderstanding civil rights and overzealous enforcement, prioritizing perceived authority over legal principles.
Somebody matching your description?
Absolutely, yeah, I'll give him the video. I'm stood there when he called. I think it's this one that called you, wasn't it?
So what's the crack? What's going on?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Sorry?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Okay, what's the purpose of the video?
My purpose, really.
No, what's the purpose of the video?
Sorry, no, my purpose, really, thank you.
What is the purpose of the video?
Do I have to answer that question?
Well, yeah, because it may be that you're breaking the law by if you...
Doing what? What law do you think I've broken?
Well, we'll start with GDPR rules.
Okay, that's nothing to do with the police. Is it?
Is it not?
No. And it isn't anyway, because I'm in public, I can film anything I can see in public, can't I?
Yeah, you can film in public,
yeah.
But if you're overflying private premises and videoing stuff that's on there, then that becomes a little bit of an issue.
No, incorrect, officer, I'm sorry, incorrect.
One officer even makes a bold claim, alleging that the auditor has violated GDPR. The auditor quickly corrects him, explaining that GDPR regulates how companies handle personal data. It does not restrict private individuals from taking photos in public. Despite this clear distinction, some officers misuse GDPR as a blanket justification to halt lawful photography. Rather than citing actual statutes, the officer relies on legal buzzwords he clearly doesn't understand, attempting to give legitimacy to an intervention that has no basis in law.
Their balloon glider goes over, they're not allowed to video, is that what you're saying?
Well, aeroplanes won't be able to pick up as much detail as a drone overflying some specific premises.
Small aeroplanes.
What is the purpose behind? What interest do you have in filming?
It's fine, I like industrial estates, so I go industrial estates and making videos of companies I find interesting. Are you recording?
No.
It's flashing. There's a green light flashing.
Yes, it is.
Is that recording?
Flashing red, then I'll be recording.
Right, okay.
The green is not recording, so
right.
What law
Because we don't know, you see, so we don't know that. So, but if you are not recording, that's fine. But you would have, one of your procedures you would have broke if you hadn't told me that.
Why is that?
Because you have to inform me. As well, you mentioned GDPR.
I can film anything I want in public. You've just come back.
No, not you. No, you're filming as a company. You're an officer working for the law. You have to, by GDPR rules, you have to tell me. Like the sign on the gate there saying the film.
Rather than acknowledging his error, the officer responds, "I can film whatever I like in public," seemingly attempting to catch the auditor off guard. But the tactic backfires immediately. The auditor calmly explains that, unlike private citizens, officers are bound by GDPR when using body-worn cameras and must inform people that they are being recorded. This exchange exposes a clear double standard. While some officers challenge routine public photography, they often ignore the rules that govern their own transparency and accountability.
Okay. So, what are we going to do about you filming? Because it's clearly causing annoyance to people.
That's not my problem. I'm in the public area filming. I'm not annoying anybody. They're annoying me, to be honest. They're actually annoying me.
Called the police.
And they're annoying me. They come out and annoy me. He did. They annoyed me. I don't report them because I thought, well, just go back to work and leave me to it. So if you think they're breaking any laws, then please quote the laws I'm breaking. Because I'm not breaking any law here.
The worker spots the auditor filming storefronts. They immediately call 911, labeling him weird, simply for using a camera in public. In reality, the auditor has been transparent about his purpose from the start. Curiosity isn't a crime, and photographing in plain view is entirely lawful. Yet the worker's snap judgment ends up wasting police resources simply because they feel uneasy. When officers arrive, they shockingly prioritize feelings over the law. One even absurdly claims the auditor has violated GDPR. The auditor calmly corrects him, explaining that GDPR regulates how businesses handle personal data, not how a private individual uses a camera on a public sidewalk. Rather than acknowledge the mistake, the officer tries to flip the situation, claiming, "I can film whatever I want in public," only to be corrected on the spot. In fact, as a body-worn camera user, the officer is bound by GDPR's transparency rules, which require announcing recordings. This encounter exposes a troubling double standard. Officers rush to challenge lawful public photography, yet ignore their own obligations for oversight. Instead of citing actual statutes, they throw around legal buzzwords they don't fully understand, attempting to justify an unfounded intervention. Ultimately, this isn't about broken laws, it's about poor policing. The auditor has every right to record. Whether someone finds it annoying has no bearing on legality. Too often, officers act like enforcers of discomfort rather than law, stepping in where no crime exists and using unease as cover for overreach. True law enforcement respects rights first. And anyone in uniform should know better than to blur that line.
You seem a bit annoyed and that you can't get me on anything. That's wrong, isn't it, surely?
It's not the fact that I can't get you on anything, it's just that if you are causing somebody enough annoyance, and they're worried about people's private details being published on the internet and what have you, because there are certain things that are visible from to your drone camera.
Yeah.
And they are rightly concerned that those will be published on the internet.
Absolutely. Can be concerned. Put them inside. Because anybody, I can go on that public path and fly my drone. I could have done it secretly. I let them know what I'm doing.
Okay. But from their point of view,
yeah,
can you see why it would cause an annoyance if you are entirely in the right and you are exercising your right as a person to do something that they don't want you to do?
Yeah. That's
and
right.
you refuse to stop when you've been asked, even though it's their premises that are affected by your actions.
Well, they said there, we're highly secret, blah, blah, blah. They're a fragrance company. I'm like, highly secret fragrances, really? You know, people really build themselves up to be bigger than they are, just to try to stop people exercising their God-given right, legal rights in this country. Legal rights in this country to video anything I can see from the public.
Too many businesses act as if their own rules override the law, telling people they can't film on public sidewalks when nothing actually forbids it. Security guards, managers, and staff often throw around terms like GDPR, privacy laws, or company policy, as if using these buzzwords magically creates enforceable statutes. In reality, it's about control, not legal authority. Rather than recognizing that anyone can legally photograph in public, these employees threaten police intervention, wasting law enforcement resources over perfectly lawful activity. By exposing this overreach, the auditor shines a light on a wider issue. Private entities pretending they have more power than the law allows, attempting to intimidate curious citizens instead of respecting their rights.
Video anything I can see from public place.
Does it not then become an issue because you can't see it from a public place because your drone is going into a private place to take these images?
He's flying over in the airspace, which is controlled by the Civil Aviation Authority, and I obey all the laws for flying my drone. Civil Aviation Authority, there's no restrictions for flying in this area, on this estate, wherever, so I can fly my drone free will all over this place. I feel you're annoyed. I don't understand. You're not the feelings police. You've got to remember this. You're not the feelings police. You're here to feel.
I'm not the feelings police. I just find it incomprehensible that
But you're like him. It's not up to you to understand what I'm here to do. It's not up to you to understand that, is it? If I'm here and not breaking any law, then basically you need to just walk away and let them know he's not breaking any law.
It gets even more concerning. The auditor actually has to ask the officer to leave, a situation that shouldn't even arise. If no crime has occurred, an officer should simply disengage. Yet this one lingers, not out of duty, but seemingly because he's irritated. Rather than step back professionally, he stays, making it clear that the real issue isn't the law, it's the auditor himself. This is a textbook example of poor policing. Officers shouldn't be enforcing emotions or personal discomfort. Their role is to uphold rights, not to assert authority simply because someone makes them uneasy. When law enforcement acts on feelings rather than facts, everyone's freedoms are at risk.
A delivery is out in the yard waiting to be picked up, and people's, their clients' details, addresses, and whatever you are on display.
Tell me this, officer. Do they have the right to tell me to stop videoing?
I think they've probably got the right to stop you from overflying their premises.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're incorrect.
I think they probably do.
I think you're incorrect.
If you look at the contracts when you buy a house, the property you own, then you also own the airspace above it. It doesn't stop at the roof of the house.
Maybe you do. That's all a bit grey, but...
So if you're overflying their property, then that does become a point where...
Right. Can you hear in the sky?
Sorry?
Can you hear in the sky? There's an airplane flying over.
Yes, there is.
So has he asked him if he can fly over his property?
Just as the officer begins to push forward with shaky reasoning, a passing plane interrupts. The auditor gestures skyward and asks, do they need the landowner's permission to fly overhead? The officer is instantly silent. Airspace isn't private property. Aircraft and legally operated drones don't need a business's approval to pass through regulated skies. That one pointed question highlights the absurdity of anyone claiming authority over lawful photography. With this sharp comparison, the auditor exposes just how baseless their objections were from the very beginning.
Saying is a bit silly. I understand what you're saying. People kind of have this thing, they do own some of it.
Can you drone fly 20,000
I think obviously if they don't want you flying over, like next to their businesses where there's information shown and things like that, I think they're polite, so politely have to stop. Obviously I appreciate you've said it's escalated. If they'd like you to stop, then just want to keep things,
Well, what about my thing? So what about me? I've come here to make videos and I want to make the video, so what about my thing? What about respect for me?
You could just please not get any kind of private information involved in that.
Well, that's not on me though, that's on them. You can't, if they've left private information out.
You do publish these videos online, can you make sure that the information is unreadable?
I'll do my best if I think it's confidential, but you can't see anything. I'm 30, 40, 50 metres up. I can't even make faces out, you know what I mean? And everybody...
When a business genuinely values confidentiality, it secures sensitive documents rather than leaving them exposed in plain sight. Blaming someone for filming what's already visible in public misses the point of who is actually responsible. The auditor reinforces this by explaining that his drone hovers 30 to 50 meters above, far too high to capture faces or private paperwork. Confronted with this clear explanation, the officers retreat to what-if scenarios and emotional arguments, failing to cite any actual legal statute. Their reliance on hypotheticals only highlights that they never had a lawful reason to intervene in the first place.
I'll get that information out, I'm sorry. Do I need to? Think carefully what you're going to say next. I know there's one answer to this and it begins with N.
So the answer begins with?
N.
N for?
No. When I said, do I need to? No, there's not a well, there's no buts to it. It's either a yes or a no.
It's open to interpretation. It depends, because if I feel that you've been involved in ASP, then yes, you do.
ASP?
The Police Reform Act.
What's ASP?
Antisocial behaviour.
Antisocial behaviour?
The auditor asks plainly, do I have to give you my name? The officer's response is startling. It depends. If I feel you've been involved in antisocial behavior, then yes. Notice that key phrase, if I feel. Laws aren't based on feelings. They are grounded in facts and evidence. Under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act 2002, an officer can only request someone's name when there is genuine evidence of antisocial conduct, not based on personal whim. By hiding behind if I feel, the officer exposes just how subjective and arbitrary this approach can be. Law enforcement should never hinge on personal emotions. It must always rely on clear legal standards.
Be on a lawsuit against you if you arrested me for antisocial behaviour, for a man with a camera, then I think you'll be into a...
Suggesting that having a...
I will take you to court. I will take you to court for that.
I'm suggesting, however, that you've been involved in an altercation, either one side or the other, and if I decide that that constitutes antisocial behaviour, then I can require you to provide me with your name and address details.
You can, if you think I've committed a crime. But do you think I've committed a crime?
If you've been involved in ASP.
No, if you think I've committed a crime, you can ask me.
Been involved in ASP, that's how it works.
If you think I've committed a crime, if you think, that's right, you're thinking I've been involved in ASP, which is a crime, isn't it? So if you think I've committed a crime...
ASP isn't necessarily a crime, but one of the police powers that we have is to request the information from somebody who's been involved in ASP.
Right.
So you've been involved in an argument because you've refused to comply with somebody else's wishes when, you know,
Feelings police again. We're back to the feelings police.
This exposes a dangerous misuse of antisocial behavior laws as a tool to coerce compliance. Simply refusing someone's demand isn't antisocial, it's exercising your legal rights. If saying no were a crime, any minor disagreement could land someone in handcuffs, which is clearly absurd. These laws are intended to prevent real threats, harassment, intimidation, or genuinely disruptive behavior, not to punish lawful, innocent actions. By twisting vague definitions to fit their own discomfort, the officer demonstrates a troubling lack of training and legal understanding. Rather than protect rights, they exploit ambiguity to justify an intervention that never had any lawful basis.
there has been a confrontation between you and somebody else,
Right.
okay?
Okay.
That to me is antisocial behaviour.
From his side, correct, yeah.
Okay, so
Go get their name and address and all the
we'll be
information.
going over there in a minute.
It's not antisocial behaviour, it's
Would
rubbish.
you like just to provide your details? Obviously, you've said there's been a crime of public order because they've shouted and sworn at you. You don't want to make a complaint. Would you
At
like
this-
to provide your details to go on the crime report?
At this time, no. If I get home and I feel that I do need to, when I watch the video back and I do feel that it was bad enough,
Can I
then
give you the instant number then? Just to
yes, please, absolutely give me the instant. Yeah,
If
definitely.
you'd like to provide your details.
Yep. So right. Well, you won't be getting my name because if I did it anonymously. So if you're thinking I'm going to do that, so you get my name.
No. It's just obviously if you want to provide your details.
What's the date
Is
today?
there any particular reason you won't provide your details?
Yes, one massive one.
What's that?
I don't want to.
What would it gain by withholding your details?
What would it gain? Now, okay.
Lose you to the
Right, so let me just reverse that back. So what it would gain for you if I provide my details, that goes straight,
spoken to.
it goes, doesn't matter though, does it? It goes straight on your intel. You put this description, my name, all my details on your intel. I don't want to be on your intel. So,
Doing nothing wrong. What's the harm?
no, you can't use that. No, I have.
That's a question. I'm not using it. I'm asking you a question.
Well, yeah, well, you can't say if you're doing nothing wrong, why don't you give your name? That's just rubbish, isn't it? I don't have to give my name, do I? And I don't want to. It's as simple as
That's
that.
fine, you don't want to, but what would be the harm?
I've just told you, you'll go on your intel. So it'll go against the incident, it'll go on your intel. I don't want to be on your systems, thank you.
This moment exposes yet another concerning tactic: officers fishing for personal information when no crime has taken place. They often present it as harmless, but in reality, it's a way to feed police databases with data on innocent people. With no legal basis for the request, there is no obligation to comply. By highlighting this practice, the auditor makes it clear that it isn't about preventing crime. It's about exerting control over individuals. Professional policing respects privacy, whereas covert data collection erodes trust and infringes on rights.
Somebody beats you up for the things that you're doing and you won't stop when they ask you to, you get beaten up and then
Yep.
we come across you. How do we know who you are? Might help us.
Well, I think when you come, I'll give you my name then. What?
We don't know. You don't want to give it.
Well, what if I got beaten up and I'm going to take them to court ready to, or get you guys to do something about it? Then I
Anything
wouldn't.
else we can help with?
Not for me, no. I don't know if you want to speak to these guys,
We'll
but
have a chat with them over there and obviously
Absolutely.
side of things as well.
yeah, no problem. Okay.
very much indeed
All right.
for your time.
Thank you. Cheers. It's a walk of shame.
The encounter only ended, not because the first officer realized his mistakes, but because a colleague intervened and called it off. That moment speaks volumes. This wasn't policing in the service of the law, it was a misunderstanding of it. From misusing GDPR to probing for personal information and stretching antisocial behavior rules, the officer relied on emotion and control rather than any legal authority. He had no basis to intervene. The auditor broke no laws. Yet the officer persisted, twisting vague definitions to justify unnecessary escalation. This incident highlights exactly why recording police encounters is so important. Without that camera, unchecked overreach can easily go unnoticed and unchallenged. That wraps up today's breakdown. If you found this analysis useful, hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more independent coverage. Don't forget to check out the BP link in the description and show your support. Thanks for watching.